everyone. Can I request you all to take your seat and we'll begin with the next segment? Hope you all had a chance to network and just catch up with everyone. So next up, we are going to talk about our next speaker, Aanchal Mishra, who has been associated with us right since the beginning and who is a student developer advocate at Postman. She's going to talk about using ML APIs using Google Cloud Platform. So without wasting much time, Aanchal, I'll just present the screen on to you. Thank you.
Oops. Hey, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining back and welcome back to the session. I hope you all are feeling much energized now after your much needed dose of caffeine. So I hope you all are energized. Back with me? Yes? Oh, I think the energy is quite low. So let's do a quick checkup. Okay, I see my friend shouting. So yeah, thank you so much. Okay. So let's do a quick checkup again, like for energy and see how much caffeinated you all really are. So I'll instruct you and then you have to do that, okay? So right hand up, left hand up, right hand on your left shoulder, left hand on your right shoulder, and grab your chin. Okay, I see many of them who actually grabbed their nose, so maybe you need another cup of coffee, but yeah. Okay, so let's get started. So hello everyone again. My name is Aanchal Mishra. I'm currently working at Postman as a developer advocate, managing student programs team. Apart from that, because communities have a very special place in my heart, and technology and community in general have, are something that I'm really, really passionate about. So I have been part of some of the most recognized and amazing communities throughout my student career, student life, as well as I'm fortunate to be now, become a working professional and still be connected to these, communities and of course, do my part. So you can definitely, I'm reachable on LinkedIn and Twitter. You can connect with me over there and know more about my community experiences, and I would love to get in touch with you over there. Okay. So moving forward, talking about what exactly we are going to discuss today and what exactly we are going to talk about. So today we are going to talk about, we are going to explore the power of machine learning, okay, with talking about some of the machine learning APIs, specifically because I have very limited time, so I cannot cover all the machine learning APIs, and of course, GCP has a lot to offer in this domain. So I'll be covering one specific API, that is Cloud Vision API. So let's get started and see how it goes. Okay. Before moving forward, I know most of the crowd here we have is, represents student developers community, right? We have a lot of people who basically are students. So let's get started and let's, refresh our basics first. So what exactly are APIs? Okay, let's get started with that. How many of you have ever played with Lego bricks in your childhood? Those plastic blocks that you could directly, connect together and, decompose them or whatever, right? You used to do it. I used to, I remember a fun memory that, I used to play it, but the best part was that to destroy my younger sister's creation, whatever she used to create. So that was my favorite memory out of that. But yeah, that's amazing. I see a lot of people, of course, played with Lego bricks. So if I talk about APIs, you can compare APIs, and when I talk about the world of APIs, you can definitely compare the world of APIs with and compare it with the help of Lego bricks. So here if I talk about, in the world of APIs, you can basically decompose huge systems of software bricks, which can actually be decomposed, replaced, rebuilt, or whatever you want to do. So it is more likely that. And of course, in the end, it is much easier to use an API rather than, using or, rather than building an entire program or request or a data set from the very, very scratch. So that is why, it is, and because APIs are basically built on the foundation of abstraction, which is basically that you don't need to know about a lot of inner workings or complexities of an API in order to use it in your own environment. Okay. Okay, so moving forward now, before moving forward and before talking about what exactly are the different products that we have, in terms of, whatever is the, what all products we have in terms of GCP on machine learning, let's quickly talk about machine learning on GCP in general, okay? So I like to specify, and I like to categorize the entire machine learning on GCP into some categories, namely 4 categories, okay? Talking about the very left-hand side on my screen, which you can see, the very first category is application developers, which we are going to focus on today, which is basically, developers like us, or of course, there must be a lot of, data, machine learning practitioners here in the house. But yeah, let's talk about application developers. So here we have people who actually do not require, maybe require little to no knowledge of, about machine learning and, do not require any machine learning expertise, and they can very well go ahead and work around with, of course, machine learning. And with that, they can actually use it. They can basically use machine learning APIs for that. Now, of course, I will talk, in this session, we'll be focusing more about, more on machine learning APIs, and we'll be discussing about that. But yeah, moving forward, let's move to the next category that we have, and that is AutoML. Now, if I talk about AutoML, it is basically for the developers who have limited knowledge of machine learning, right? They have limited knowledge of machine learning, and they can basically, AutoML provides and, of course, gives an offer to, of course, build good models, build, of course, very amazing models using, and, of course, depending on the specific needs for the developer. So you can categorize it as, in short, you bring your own data, and then you train your model on the top of AutoML. Okay, that is about it. Now, next part, that is on my very right-hand side here, if you will see. Basically, it is for machine learning practitioners and data scientists. So we have products on GCP, which are specifically for machine learning practitioners and data scientists, which basically, and when we talk about data scientists, there comes TensorFlow and Vertex AI. I'm not going to cover Vertex AI today because we have our very next session on Vertex AI. So yeah, Weber will cover more about that in our very next session. So yeah. Talking about the other thing, right? Now, in case you want to use something else, right? In case you don't want to use TensorFlow or Vertex AI as your framework, and you still want to run your model on GCP, you still have an option, and we have got you covered. So you basically can use GCE or GKE, that is, Google Kubernetes Engine, and you can run your models on the top of that. And of course, but because it is all about REST APIs, so you do not require to have, you can build it, or you can basically, use any language that you are comfortable with. Okay. Now, talking about machine learnings as an API, or seeing the entire, broad categories that we have when we talk about, machine learning on GCP. So, of course, we have wide varieties of products and services that that basically GCP offers. Talking about the few, starting from speech to text, which basically, allows the speech recognition and transcription across 125 languages, and then going to text to speech. Then we have translation AI, vision AI, and video AI, and of course, other different services as well. So when we talk about this, we definitely have APIs, right? APIs play a very important role here. And today, our session is basically going to be focused on vision AI, that is basically Cloud Vision API. So we'll be covering that, and let's know and learn more about Vision API. Okay, talking about Cloud Vision API, now, as the name suggests, as well as even if you see the logo, you might be able to see that you might find a eye kind of logo, right? So basically, the entire motive of having Cloud Vision API at the very first place is that you are a human being, but a superhuman, with a superhuman eye. So what happens is that, yeah, we see photos, we analyze that, yeah, this is Gateway of India, but what happens here is, during, with the use of Cloud Vision API, what happens is that it analyzes that, yes, it is Gateway of India. On the top of that, it performs web results and web search for all the, and gives out in the output that how many, of course, all the pictures that are available on web and all on internet of, Gateway of India. So that is about one of the features of, one of the main features of Cloud Vision API. And of course, Cloud Vision API is a very powerful image analytics tool. So you can definitely use it, and it will be very useful for, you whenever you are interacting with machine learning API, and you are someone like us who is basically just a developer or an application developer in general. Now, what can we do with Vision API? Of course, it's just a start, but yeah, definitely we have Cloud Vision API has a lot to offer. Let's talk about some of the main features of Cloud Vision API, starting with label and web detection. Now here, if you run this, if you actually send this image in the algorithm, and if you will run it, you will basically get an output. Let's say that it is basically, let's say it's a lion. Maybe it says that it is, animals, etc., right? And on the top of that, with web detection, what it does is it basically also allows you to say and perform a web search for all the photos that are available on internet of lions or, of course, animals in general. So it might give you that in the output. Then we have landmark detection. I already covered that. Then we have logo detection, optical character recognition, again, a very, very powerful feature, where it basically allows you to extract the content or extract the text from an image and then analyze where exactly it is, and also analyze which, in which particular language it has been, in which particular language it is. Then we have explicit content, which is basically for safe search. So we also have the provision of that. And then multiple object detection and a lot more. So that was about how much, what exactly we can do with the help of Cloud Vision API. Now, when we talk about APIs, of course, you might already know that there comes request, then there comes response, and then then there is a server, then there is a network, and then the things happen, right? So before going to, our live demonstration, let's quickly understand the request response pattern and then move forward. Talking about the request response pattern, what happens is my laptop here, right? It basically is a client, which basically, sends a request at what exactly is my requirement. And then there is a server, which basically exposes services and resources. And then on the top of that, if required, it performs, APIs basically perform any, if there is any separate or addition operation that is basically required to be added. So that happens. And then it sends the response that is required by the client back to us, okay, as a response. So that happens. And let's understand and let's see how exactly, what does a Vision API request look like. So here in front of you, you see a very simple JSON body, which basically says that, there is an image, so we are sending an image. Now, you don't have to worry about it. You can you can actually send whichever image you want to. You can directly copy the link from the internet, and you can add it here as well in your, in your code, and then it will work out. So here, if you will see, we have added, but I have moved forward with making a cloud storage altogether, adding the picture there, adding my bucket name, and adding my file image there. And on the top of that, you don't have to know, you don't actually have to know what exactly is happening under the hood, okay, like of how exactly the, pre-trained models are working and everything. You don't have to worry about it. You just are required to know these things and know, some of the parameters and what exactly will be happening on GCP console, and then you are good to move forward with that. Similarly, one other thing is you can basically add more than one feature. So let's say if I want to perform label detection on a particular image, I can do that. On the top of that, if I want to perform web detection or some other detection, like let's say OCR or any other detection, I can also do that. So it also allows me to add different features at the same time, and I can definitely get the output accordingly. Okay. Enough of talking. Let's directly dive deep into the demonstration, and let's see how exactly it happens. So, of course, you heard about and you saw how exactly the request looks like. I'm sure some of you might also be interested in knowing how exactly the response works and how exactly we can see the output, right? So let's talk about it now. So I have made a Postman public workspace. So whenever, it is not that because I work at Postman, that is why I'm, I've just added that link. Of course, because whenever there comes an API, Postman is definitely the best tool. So that's why I decided to make a public workspace so that you all can just scan that, and you all can, once you go back home, you can also follow along that. You can fork that collection, and then you can work around with the same public workspace after you are going home. Okay. So let's move forward with the demonstration. Okay, let's get started. So here, before starting with our demonstration, let's quickly understand about some of the prerequisites that you might require and that you might need to know before moving forward with working with Cloud Vision API. The very first things first, you need to have a billing account, okay? So you need to have a billing account before moving forward with having, to work with Vision API. Don't worry, they are not going to charge you anything. So the very first 1,000 units are free for the month, and after that, every month you get 1,000 units. So I think that will be sufficient for you to work around with the generate APIs and then work around with it. After that, it is, in case you move forward with that, it will be, of course, pay as you go. So it will be a pay as you go scenario. Okay. So here you can see I already have a project. The very first thing that you need to know and that you need to do once you have actually reached the cloud console is to create a bucket, okay, to create a cloud storage bucket. And then once you create a bucket, you will just add all the details and, add. So here you can see I have already I'll just go back. And for that, you also are required to either create or, work in a particular selected project. Like here you can see I have 3 projects, and I have created a special demo for Vision API. I have created a special bucket for Vision API CCD Mumbai. Okay. So I'll quickly go to that. You can directly come here, click on create buckets, and then move forward with adding all the details. Just click create, and you're all good to go. Okay, so now once I'm there, I'll just quickly click on Vision API. But before going to that, let me show you how to generate a Vision API key. Okay, so let's come to Vision API. I'll quickly search for Vision API. Okay, so here you can see once you will search for Vision API, you can directly get it on, you can just search for APIs and services. In the library, you will already get an option to search for the APIs that you want to, and you will already get that. Okay, so once you go there, you can see I have already enabled the API. So my API is already enabled. But in case you want to, of course, once you will be going back home and if you want to try it out, you will go there, you will be asked to enable the API. And once you enable the API, you will see something like that. You will basically be asked to, you can go to credentials, and I'll quickly show you how exactly it looks like. So I'll click on create credentials, and I will get 4 options. And on that, I will click on creating an API key. Okay. Now, once I'll create an API key, of course, I know it will be visible to everyone, so I'm going to delete this right after, it being created. So I'll quickly, but you can see, right? This is how exactly the API key is being created. So I'll quickly come here, delete the API key, and let's move forward. So I already have a base key, available to me. I'm going to use that for today's demo. So let's get started. Let's come to Postman now, and let's see how exactly. So Google also provides API Explorer, where you can actually go ahead and work around with, explore the APIs, try it out, and of course move forward with that. But because I wanted to show you the replicability, and I wanted you all to, in case you want to try it out once you go back home, so you can definitely, that's why I'm using Postman. Okay, now let's come here, and now let me come to the very first one. So once you will come here, you will see that I have a workspace ready here that is basically Vision APIs. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the very basics. That is, we are going to perform 4 demonstrations. Okay. The very first one is landmark detection. That is going to be the very first thing. So let's come here and let's see what all we have in the request, right? So here you can see I have a base URL, right? From where you will get this base URL, let's come back and let's click on our storage, right? Let's come to our storage and let's come to our storage and then, yeah. So once you will come here, you will see that I have already added some of the pictures here, right? So let's come here. And you will already see that I have added certain pictures here already because I want to perform analysis on the top of that. So you can just click on any picture, okay? I'm just clicking on the very first picture for this matter. And here you will see 3 options. You can either use, so for here, of course, because we are creating it using Google Cloud, Google Cloud Storage. So we are going to use the GS command. So that is why I'll quickly add this in my copy, I will add it into my copy to my clipboard, and then I'll have to paste it here. Now, the next thing which is required here is to add the key, right? So you are required to add the key before you actually move forward with adding it. But here, if you will see the body, I hope you all can relate to what I showed and what I just, showed in my presentation, right? How exactly the request looks like. So this is how the request looks like. Apart from that, as I told you, because it is you are working with REST APIs. So here you can also see, if I come to code snippets, you can basically see that you have an option to work with whichever language or whichever coding language you are comfortable with. If you want to go ahead with Node.js, Python, Shell, Swift, whichever one, you are already, you can move forward with that. Okay, that is one thing. Now, let's move forward and let's perform the landmark detection on the top of that. So here, if you will come, I'll quickly check if my API key is enabled. Yeah, I have already enabled my, I have already enabled and I have already added a variable to, I have created an environment where I have added my API key. So let's check it out and let's move forward with the collection. Perform the very first one, that is basically your landmark detection. Okay. So here what I have done is I have added an image. So let's quickly hit a send request, hit send, and let's see what exactly we are getting in the response. Okay. So we are receiving, we have received a 200 OK response. That means everything is good. Now it says that, description says that it might be Thiksay Monastery. Okay. So it might tell me, it tells me that it gives me a hint because I know what exactly was the picture that I actually added here. So it says that it might be Thiksay Monastery, and again, longitude, latitude, all the other dimensions are already also mentioned here. Let's quickly come here and let's see what exactly our image was. Okay, so let's come here and let's see a preview of the image and let's see if it was actually detecting it right. So let's come here and let's see. Oh, okay, this one was this one was another one. Let's come to ICS lay, right? This was the image that I posted here and that I added here. So let's come here, click on preview and see what was the image. Yeah. So this one is from my recent trip. We have had, I was fortunate to be part of ICS, India Community Summit, Ladakh, and that is when we actually clicked this picture. And yeah, it recognized it very nicely. I'm not sure if I'll be seeing it after 20, 25 years, I'll be able to realize and recognize the exact place, but yeah, it does, right? So it definitely recognizes that, yeah, this was Tikse Monastery. Okay, let's move to the next part. That is our next collection. Let's do face detection. Okay, now let's move forward with face detection. Now, if I talk about face detection, let's talk about this one, and let's move forward with that. So if I talk about face detection, let's come here, and let's again hit send. The request is the same. If you will see the body, it is same. I have just added another image and nothing else. So let me quickly hit a send request, and let's see what exactly we are getting in the response. So here, if you will see in the response, we are seeing a lot of parameters, definitely a lot of parameters. We are seeing left eye, right eye, and different features as well. So what I'll do is, this does not help me much, right? Because of course there are so many people in this image. So I'll perform web detection. So what I've done is I have let's try this out in the Google Cloud Vision API itself, which basically is provided by Google Cloud, and it helps to try and see the different features and connect and try to relate with all the features of GCP Cloud Vision API at once. So I'll come here and I'll add the picture. Okay, let me quickly add the picture, and let's see what exactly it detects. Okay, so I'll add a picture, and let's see what exactly is detecting and what exactly Cloud Vision API has to say about this picture. So it's loading, and let's see what exactly is the recommendation and what exactly it is saying. So here it says that, the very first one is it is detecting faces, right? So you can see how many faces, it has already detected, and it says that, yeah, joy is likely. Yes, we were definitely happy. It was a snap from our WTM breakout session that happened in ICS Ladakh. So yeah, we were really, really happy, and we have had good time there. Then talking about objects, yeah, because there were only persons, so it is detecting only, people there. Okay. Then there is labels. We have carpet, formal wear. It is being very, very specific, but yeah, all the details are available there. Then we have a Google logo available there as well. You can see the Google logo as well. So it has already also detected that. Then we have text, so you can also see it. You can also see text here. All the text have also been added here. And then talking about safe search, which was making sure that there is no explicit content. So it also adds that. Now that was about the face detection part and how exactly it does this, and how exactly we can leverage Cloud Vision API with the help of of course like just a few JSON requests, and then we are all good to go. Now what I'll do is I have a demo to show. Okay, because I made an Android application much very long time back. But yeah, what I'll be doing is I'll quickly show that demonstration to you all, and let's see how exactly that works. So what I did is I basically made an application, Android application, which has a feature of face detection or object localization. You can directly localize that. So let's try that out. Okay. Just give me a second. Okay. Yeah. So let's move forward with that. And now what I'll do is I'll quickly share my screen from here, and I'll get started. So I'll quickly share my screen, and let's get started. So I've just searched for Cloud Vision, the application that I've built, and let's click on that. And now what I'll do is I'll add an image. Okay, so I'll take the photo of yours. Okay, I'll take a photo of yours, and then let's see what exactly this application has to say about it. You can just pose whatever you want to do, and you can just, yeah. Okay. Let's see what Cloud Vision API has to say about it. Yeah. Okay. Uploading image. Let's wait. So it says, yeah, there is a podium, there is chair, suit, event. So you can see that all the objects have been detected out of the image, so this is a very simple application that I made, but I just wanted to, make sure that, just to have a look at it, and you can have a look at it. Okay. So yeah, that was about that. Let me quickly again come back to my slide, and let's move forward. Okay, so yeah, that was from my side. Thank you so much for being a lovely audience. I had lovely time interacting with you all. Thank you so much, and have a good day. Bye-bye.